Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 NFL Week 13 update show, we'll call it. We have plenty of NFL action going on for you today, and we'll talk about one of the games that you're seeing right now. And we'll talk about the late games as well. Uh, and but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL football week 13 trivia question, and it's a Pittsburgh Steelers question with Pittsburgh playing Cincinnati this week. What Pittsburgh Steeler was named MVP of Super Bowl 10? And I'll have the answer later on the podcast. Uh, well, it's week 13 of the NFL regular season. Browns will play the Broncos on Monday Night Football tomorrow night. But don't worry, we've got plenty of NFL action for you today. In one of the early games you're seeing right now, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals battling it out at Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. And this is going to be one of those games that I feel, will come down to a game-winning field goal or touchdown. And the Steelers are 8-3. The Bengals are 4-7. But I feel the Bengals are going to get the win. But it's 34-24 right now in the third quarter with 22 seconds left to go. So I'm not sure about, and I just think I want to read the preview. I'm going to get back to the game tracker in a moment. Get back to the other scores. What I will do in a moment. Uh, uh, the Pittsburgh Steelers had stacked up 5 straight wins and pulled ahead in the race for the AFC North before letting one slip away to the lowly Browns on a snowy Thursday night in Cleveland. The Steelers have a chance to get back on track Sunday against the Bengals, which is today, whose own playoff hopes are dwindling. In a huge game, every game from here on out, especially since it's an AFC North game. Bengals, one of our rivals, said Steelers linebacker Alex Highsmith, uh, who hopes to play after missing the past 2 games with an ankle injury. It's our first game against them this year, but just to bounce back after a loss is just going to be huge for us. And Cincinnati's going to really have to score in the fourth quarter if they want to win. They're coming to the end of their third quarter right now. Pittsburgh goes 8-3, is still in first place in the division by a half a game over the Baltimore Ravens, whom the Steelers have to face again on Saturday before Christmas. The Steelers down Baltimore 18-16 on November 17th, a week before their stumble in Cleveland. For the Bengals, a loss to Pittsburgh on Sunday will all but end their chances of returning to the playoffs for the first time since 2022. Since he has blown leads and struggled to finish close games, losing 3 of its past 4. In December football, Cincinnati coach Zach Taylor said, "This is where it means something, regardless of what our record is right now. You need to play your best football in December, now more than ever. We're going to need that from our guys, and they understand that." The Bengals, who are 4-7, 4-7 record belies the fact that some of their players are putting up NFL best numbers. Entering Week 13, quarterback Joe Burrow is among the league leaders in completions, 274, passing yards 3,028, and touchdowns 27. Burrow has expressed his frustration in recent weeks over the team's inability to close out opponents. Uh, and Side wide receiver Jamar Chase is leading the NFL in yards receiving, 1,056 yards after the catch, 481, and touchdowns, 12 going into Week 13. Edge rusher Trey Hendrickson is leading the league with 11 and a half sacks. The Steelers have raised some eyebrows recently by having Justin Fields take over for Russell Wilson during certain games situations with mixed results. Fields has helped seal a victory over Baltimore 2 weeks ago by running for an 8-yard gain and on Pittsburgh's final drive. Fields was also behind a catcher on behind center on Pittsburgh's penultimate possession in Cleveland, and threw an incomplete down on the sideline on third down. His first pass in more than a month. That gave the ball back to the Browns, who then drove for the winning score. Bengals kicker Evan McPherson, who picked up the nickname Money, has money for his reliability in his first 3 seasons, is slumping badly and worked during the bye week trying to figure it out. McPherson, who missed 2 field goals in the final 8 minutes that would have given the Bengals the lead in the 34-27 loss to the Chargers November 17th for the season. He's made 15 of 21 field goal attempts for 71.4% rate, which ranks it near the bottom of the league. He's 3 of 5 in attempts of 40 to 50 yards and 3 for 7 from beyond 50. The AFC North is getting in the season. Hard Knocks treatment in a first of its kind production that will focus on all 4 teams in the division rather than just one. That includes the Steelers, who avoided being featured in the documentary institution since its inception, in 2001. Camera crews arrived in Pittsburgh on Halloween to start gathering footage for the series, and Coach Mike Tomlin is treating their presence the same way he treats just about everything else, as a competition. To me, it's something to conquer, to be quite honest with you. NFL's longest tenured coach said, "We have to deal with it better than the other teams." That's how I view a lot of things that come across my plate, particularly when others have to deal with it. The first episode of Hard Knocks in season debuts on Tuesday night. So, I think Cincinnati really needs to score this fourth quarter, and the Steelers now have the ball again. So, Cincy is just struggling. We'll get to all the other games in just a moment, but right now it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Week 13 early games pregame show. Early games pregame trivia question. And it's the Pittsburgh Steelers one, as I said. What Pittsburgh Steeler was named MVP of Super Bowl X? If you said Hall of Famer Lynn Swann, you are correct. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Lynn Swann was named MVP of Super Bowl X. Swann set a Super Bowl record by gaining 161 yards on his 4 receptions. Other key players in the game included Franco Harris, who rushed for 82 yards, and Terry Bradshaw, who threw 2 touchdowns and had no interceptions. I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Right now, it's time for the picks of the week. For my picks of the week, for both myself and my brother-in-law, and the Lions beat the Bears 23-20 Thanksgiving Day. And the Giants, I mean, the Cowboys beat the Giants 27-20 on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday. And the Packers in Thursday Night Football, to close out Thanksgiving Day, beat the Dolphins 30-17. And I took the Lions and Cowboys, and I took the Packers for those three. And my brother-in-law took the Lions and the Cowboys. He won on those two, but lost on the Dolphins. And I've won on all three of them. And the Chiefs yesterday on Friday beat the Raiders 19-17. I took the Chiefs, and so did my brother. And he did not. He took the Raiders. He lost both. He's 2-2 right now so far on the picks, and I am 4-0 right now. Right in the other games, the Los Angeles Chargers are in Atlanta playing the Falcons, and right now they're up on them, 17-13 by 4. First and 10 at the Atlanta 33. Atlanta has the ball. 4:14 left to go in the fourth. And I took it, Atlanta, and so did my brother-in-law. I got to look. He took Atlanta as well, and excuse me. The Pittsburgh Steelers are in Cincinnati playing the Bengals, and I took Cincy, and so did my brother-in-law. He took Cincy. The Houston Texans are in Jacksonville playing the Jaguars, and they're up 16-6 on them. First and 10 at the Houston 42, and they're just getting underway in the fourth quarter, and we both took the Texans. My brother-in-law and I. The Arizona Cardinals are in Minnesota playing the Vikings. They're down by 3. The Vikings 19-16 to Arizona, and I took Houston, and I took Minnesota, and so did my brother-in-law. The Indianapolis Colts are playing the New England Patriots, and they find themselves down 20. The Colts find themselves down 24-17. 6:34 left to go in the fourth quarter. 4th and 13 at the New England 45. Patriots have the ball, and I took the Colts. So did my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle. The Washington Commanders all over the Tennessee Titans, 35-13, fourth quarter, 14:15 to go. Washington's about to kick off. I took the Commanders. My brother-in-law took the Titans. So that was one we didn't agree on. The Seattle Seahawks, rounding out the early games, are playing the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. It's 21-19, Jets in front. First and 20 at the New England 28. 13:06 left to go in the fourth. Jets have the ball. So Seattle needs to score if they want to have a chance to win it in this fourth quarter. And I took Seattle, and so did my brother-in-law. And in the late games, the Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 4 o'clock games, they will be playing the Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium. And I took Baker Mayfield and the Bucks. So did my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle. The Los Angeles Rams are at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans to take on the Saints. And I took the Saints only because they're playing in New Orleans. And my brother-in-law took the Rams. That's another one we don't agree on. That's 2. And so actually it's 4 because we didn't agree on the Dolphins-Packers game or the Raiders-Chiefs game. And one is the game of the week, and this is going to be an intense game. The Eagles at Ravens. The Philadelphia Eagles will take on the Baltimore Ravens at M&T Bank Stadium. I took Baltimore, and my brother-in-law took the Eagles, so that's 5 we don't agree on. And Sunday, that's the late game. Sunday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills are hosting San Francisco, taking on them at Highmark Stadium in Buffalo. I took Buffalo to win this one because I feel they're going to get it. And my brother-in-law took the 49ers. That's 6. And Monday Night Football tomorrow night, the Browns will take on the Denver Broncos at Empire Field at Mile High. And I feel after that Thursday night win, the Browns are going to win in Denver. I took the Browns. My brother-in-law went with his gut instinct and took the Broncos. So that's 7 we don't agree on. So we shall see with these games. And 12:43 left to go for the Steelers and Bengals in the fourth quarter. First and 10 at the Cincy 11. The Bengals have the ball. They need to score a touchdown and a field goal to try to win it for Cincy, and Pittsburgh just needs to hold on for the lead. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up. And for last week, week 12, I think I didn't get a chance to announce my player of the week before I wrap up here. It was my player of the week. I'm giving it to Jalen Hurts because for that Sunday night game, he's going to be my player of the week this week. It's going to be him for last week. We'll see who it is for this week. Now, Jalen Hurts for last week, not this week. Now that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scout Sports 101 NFL early games pregame show. I'll be back with the postgame show and the late games preview show once the all the early games have concluded. And until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.